Hello, everyone. Welcome to Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. She's in the house talking about bringing those profits in daily. So if you are looking for information on how to run that business better, you're in the right place. Good morning, Coach. How are you doing?
I got a cold, but we're doing it.
Well, we declare that you are healed.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
and, and we look forward to hearing all that you have to share with us today. What are we talking about today, Coach?
We're continuing the journey and money is not sexy, and we're talking about part two. We're hitting
Oh,
part two. So let me give you a little up to speed if you didn't, and you should go back and listen to part one. It was really good.
yes, it was.
Part one, we talk about money never sexy, and that's because of all the things that happens. And then we talk about why money is never creative and why it doesn't come right away. And everything
Mhm.
takes time, whether you like it or not. That's the way it is. You can make your own universe, as Jim Rohn would say, and make it different. But that's the one we're living in. And so this is where we are. And today we're going to talk about why doesn't money show up when we need it. That's how it feels anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And what triggers you when it comes to money? You need to know that. So you need to address it. And is your money a relative or a friend? And I'll explain. We'll talk about the difference. We'll talk about what happens and that sort of thing. So let me jump right in. I got my notes here. I got it up on the screen and I got my notes here because this was a conversation I just knew we need to have. Of course, I got a cold and what have you, but we're having it. Because that's how life works, right? That's how life works. So we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about it. We're talking about it. Money feels like it never shows up when you or I need it, but it shows up when it wants to. If it wants to, especially when there is no urgency, it shows up plentiful. And the reason that happened is because you did the work. So now it's
Mm.
showing up. You prayed about it. You go to work doing the thing about it because you can't just pray and do nothing. You pray about it and then you enter in to doing it, whatever that thing is. If you decide to own a snack company, you start creating the snack because that's what you said you want to do. Stop lying to yourself. I'm going to tell you right now, stop lying to yourself. This is something you got to do if that's what you say you're going to do. God don't take that away from you. If you say you're going to do it, He is going to help you with the thing you say you're going to do. When you fall off, you do yourself a disservice of not being true to yourself and to the word. Like you've said it. No matter rain or shine. This morning, I got up, I was feeling great. And God was just taking me through the journey of remembrance of my time. At
Mm-hmm.
9, I got up at 5 in the morning and I leave the house at 7. What did I do at 6? Sorry, what did I do for that hour? Get a shower, brush my teeth, tidy my 3.5-month-old sister, get her dressed, get her wrapped up in a stroller, get her covered up. If it was pouring rain or sun was
Mm-hmm.
shining, and we're out the house, it took us an hour to get her to daycare because I walked. It took me another hour to get to school. I got to get it for 8. So I had this timeline that I stuck to. No matter what was going on, 5 days a week, I got it done. When I asked for what I need and I got it, that was something I add on to my play that I had before. This is the thing, guys. If you have a job and you want to start a business, you can't say, but you want to start a business. You asked to start a business. You told yourself you can do it. You got to get up and do it. Period. There's no trying. There's just doing. Whatever you want to start, whatever you want to do, you got to go do it.
What? Okay. What I hear, Coach. Let me pop in here. What I think I hear you saying is that people want the result, but they don't want to do what has to be done to get it.
Yes.
So how can we change that? It sounds like we all need that schedule. I can remember that schedule from grade school, high school, you know, other institutions of learning. There was always a schedule, and you had your little schedule in the front of your book, right? And you'd open up and say, "Oh, where am I supposed to be at gym, or where am I supposed to be right now?" You know what I mean? So, is it that we're not keeping the Get
There's
your
a rebellion that happens when we're done with school. We're like, well, we're free to do whatever
I
we
don't
like.
have to do that no more.
Lies.
I'm grown.
Yeah. The same thing your mom told you to do in the morning, get up and do it because it'll afford you and you'll see life changing. People always ask me as I got older, Karen, what are you doing that for? Like, you don't need to do that. People who knew me for a long time would say you don't need to do that. I'm coaching a classmate of mine. Imagine that, Terry. We started kindergarten together in Guyana. We went right through primary school and high school. She found me. We found each other on Facebook, and she's a client right now. He's like,
Yeah.
I have just always admired you, Karen. Your discipline was always crazy. We used to talk, but this girl is nuts. But I love it because now watch. Look what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
She told me last year, she said, Karen, I am going to come on board. As soon as I can do it, I will. And then when she reached out early this year, I said, when take your time. She goes, no, there's no waiting. I know I need you as a coach. That's what I want. I know you. I know I need you as a coach. That's how you could impact somebody from, you never even know who's watching you. And
you don't. You really do
don't
not
know. Admire you. I know we were friends, but never know the admiration, seeing what you're doing. That's why you got to keep yourself proper. Okay, guys, whatever you're doing, you got to really be, because you don't know the opportunity you're going to receive. You don't know who's watching you, who's admiring you, who's seeing the quality in you that they would love to add to what they're doing. Because not like they're not doing anything. They're doing things, but they watch you and they know. So she knew me for so long ago. And when she approached, I was like, you do? She's like, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to do X, Y, and Z. And I know you're going to help me do that. I'm really doing such beautiful work right now, so you just never know. So you got to do the schedule. Don't go out the door. You just change it to suit you. If you're working a 9 to 5, if you're working 8 hours, understand that you're working 9 to 10 hours. Please understand that so you're not upset. The reason I say this, transportation back and forth, getting yourself ready in the morning, coming back home at night, you're already working 10 hours. In Canada here, a lot of hours, a lot of places have shifted 7.5 hours to 7 hours. So then I say to the person, you're working 8 hours or 9 hours, just depending on where you live and where you work. If you come to that realization, the other realization is to understand how much sleep your body really needs. People say 7 to 8, but you as the individual, could you survive on 7 hours or 8 hours? What you truly need, give it to you. And then add some rest in between somewhere in there.
Okay.
Please. And then do something that's going to bring you fun and edify you. When those things are in place and now you want to run a business, you get to see ebbs and flow. If you want to run a business, you say, okay, so I enjoy badminton and I'll do that once a week. So that time, it's not a work time. It's just go to work, come back, do my house stuff, but I'm going to play badminton. That's some fun. That's joy. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm going to run my business 3 to 4 days a week. I'm willing to wait and go the long road. It might take me a little longer, but at least I'll get the things done. Don't worry the other people. Run your own race. Do you.
I love that. Run your own race and run it at your own pace.
Yes. Set up your schedule. Do what you're going to do. Stop worrying with other people. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm so happy. I didn't like it at the time when my grandmother said to me, Karen, you're your own person. I'm your grandmother, but I cannot tell you who to be. You are your own person. Whatever you decide in this life, it's going to either build you up, get you ready where you want to go, or pull you like crazy down in a hole.
Wow.
Whatever you want to do, and you say you want to do, you're going to have to do it. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is coming to do it for you. No, you can want to talk to God about it. But besides that, you're running this race yourself. You're doing it yourself. You're doing it. You got to do it. And so you got to do that. That's why it's not showing up. So when it starts showing up, it's because you're doing the thing. You start doing the thing. And when the things start looking good, don't disappear. Stay the course. When you start running, stay the course. No matter how much time you fall down, you're going to fall down. It's part of the plan. You're going to fall down. You're going to mess up. It's going to be messy. That's just it. It's going to be messy. But keep doing it. No matter how messy it gets, keep at it. The clouds move. There's clearance. and it starts trickling in. Whatever that thing is, your health improve, money's flowing, you're feeling better, you're showing up feeling excited, even if it's just for yourself at the moment. You got to do it because you say you're going to do it.
Wow.
Number two, you have to know what is your money trigger. You got to know what trigger you. You got to know. I went to a show once. Was an intimate gathering, kind of a show. The presenter, and the minute she started talking, she's like, "Yeah, you know, people who like a lot of money." I said, "If you're the presenter, can I?" I just stick my hand up. I said, you can't speak like that to other people." She said, "What do you mean?" I said, "If you're afraid of money, please don't send it around the room." She apologized and she carried on the presentation. After the presentation, she pulled me aside. She said, "Caren, what was that about?" I said, "You're afraid of money. You're frightened of money. You're scared about money. Money did something to you and you're spreading it and you don't even realize you're doing it. What's the problem?" And she said, and tears came down her eyes. She really had a trigger. She presenting, she wants to make money. And she told me, she said, "Caren, I literally lost my house because I was doing this foolishness and I realized it. I feel like I came to present and now you're helping me." Like we talk for an hour because of where she is. So you need to know what triggers you in money. So when she presents, she talk about money, it triggers her. And then she say all kind of things that she shouldn't say.
Mm.
And so every time she gets successful, she comes right back down. And she's a pop again and she's fighting and people do this to themselves without realizing it. She lives in a basement, and not because the basement is bad. It's just that she told me, she says, "Here's what I did. And I'm doing it again." And so she's a presenter and we're supposed to buy the stuff she's selling. It was like a house party kind of thing. And I literally walk with her around and I tell everybody, I said, "So what are you guys buying today?" I said, and what she said there was just a trigger so that we are clear that she's here to make money and sell the goods she came for. Like literally we just went to people and apologized because she would have left there and sold nothing. Because and the people didn't understand how she affect them.
Yes.
She didn't know that she affect them. So everybody's like, "Well, I'll think about it. I'll send you an email," because she affects them in a way that they don't want to spend.
Wow. So we can subconsciously discourage or turn away customers because of what we're thinking and how we think about money.
And how we present it to somebody. You know, you say, "I'm selling this computer, but you don't have to buy it." Stop saying that. You're selling the computer. Stop right at you selling. Don't worry the rest of the sentence. Or, "I can try to see what I can do for you." Stop talking. Just present the computer. Let the person ask you, but don't inform them what you're going to do. Let them ask you. And then you sell. Yeah. Selling is simple, but it's hard because we get all in our feelings versus just presenting the idea, the problem that you solved, or the article, or the clothing, or whatever you're selling, you know. I had my little girl that sells at the market, and she sells these makeup bags, and they're like $55. And she would say, "So the makeup bag plus tax is $75. You can top right to the bottom of my phone here." She don't go into any, that's all she says. Or the bookmark are $3, but you can get 5 for 10. So I noticed you got one. Did you want to pick up 4 more? Because it's $10. Can you top right at the bottom of the phone? And yes, it's all handmade. Everything is made by me. And then she tells you where to top. She's not sending you away. She's not going into anything else. She's just telling you where to top.
Telling you how to
pay.
She's
not sending away the money. She's not trying to say, "Well, if you buy this." No, she's just telling you what it is, tell you what's on sale, and then you pay.
Think about this. If you're, when you're at the grocery store, you're at the checkout, and she starts saying things like, "You know, you don't really need this. You know, or this is going to be on sale next week. You might want to come back next week." Are you starting to take things off the belt that you...
One time. Yeah, of course.
Because, you know, you can get it for less or whatever. So you think, okay, this is not an emergency. It can wait, which means there's no sale for that item today.
So we talk ourselves out of things. So we got to watch what we say. We got to be mindful.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing is people, when you went to school, people, the teacher make you practice and practice. People don't want to practice. Go practice some things. In the program that I've got coming up, probably in July or something, I haven't set the date yet. That's what it's really focused on, getting people in there, role playing sales, role playing marketing, understanding what their
Learning how
language
to
does.
ask for the money.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to ask for your money. Your contractor's not afraid. When you call up to get your Wi-Fi, they're not afraid to ask when you.
You can't be afraid. And if you're feeling afraid, be afraid and ask it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Ask it anyway. The most they can say is no.
Yes.
Your price is your price. And if you're not sure, go check up your competition, see where they're at and where you feel comfortable. And then once you feel comfortable at a number, go a little above it. Do not stay where you feel comfort.
When I first started business, I was charging a third of what my competition was charging, and I had a better quality product. And my coach said, you need to raise your prices. This is just, you're profitable, but you're not as profitable as you could be.
Exactly.
And everybody is not your customer.
Mm-mm.
Because I think because we're so compassionate that we want everybody to be able to afford our product.
Yeah.
When in fact, if we sold the product at a profitable rate, we could help other people.
And we'll be working with the people who is suited to what we have, who's in our price point, who is, ready to buy and not to worry about it.
Exactly. When you walk into the car dealership, they don't care.
The price is the price. The price is the price.
Exactly.
I had a car dealer guy I used to talk with. I was looking at cars at the time. My husband had an accident. And we talked. He says, Caren, no matter which dealer I'm selling at, the price is what they give me. I'm not giving anybody. I said, I know you're not giving me any discount. I'm aware. I'm very much aware. All right. And number 3 is your money a relative or a friend? Because they're in different categories. The truth is, I want to say this piece, but the truth is money is always around and it hides in plain sight. Whatever money hides in plain sight, we talk ourselves out of money. And every now and then when I find myself do it, I self-correct because it's such a thing that if you don't pay attention, it happens. I remember a client brought something to get done and I think I had it at $55 and it was a $69 or $70 bill. And I said to her, I just called her up. I said, my apologies. She says, Caren, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I come and get us. No problem. This is the work it took. This is the lump. So no problem. You don't be shy. If you call the price, depending what it is, and you recognize, you call the person back, don't hesitate. Don't wait for days and let them, hey, I made a mistake in calculations. It's going to cost you X, Y, and Z. They're respectful of it. And don't start the work so now you're feeling bad into the works, okay? As you source, you creatives, I'm speaking directly to you. Get there and do it. If you're charging for food, this amount of food for this amount of price, please, if prices go up because it goes every day, matter of fact, you should know how to charge. So when a shift come in price, you'll be okay. But if that happens, get back to them and say, hey, costs have gone up. It's going to be an extra 20%, 10%. And then don't only tell them the percentage, but give them a number. Because not everybody understands the percentage.
Correct.
Just give them a number. So it's going to cost you extra $20, $50. Tell them. I used to be a waitress, and I told my boss that he was talking. I said, Terry, stop telling them that it's 25%. Tell me how much is 25%. You calculate it, and you send that email. This percentage, and this is the number. And he says, Caren, it's like 6 people got back to me right away. I'm like, yeah, because nobody want to calculate anything. The minute you say it's going to cost you $200 or $500, oh, okay, Terry, fine. We're sending it right over. That's it.
Exactly.
But percentage now, they're like, 25%, what is that? And then they forgot about you and they do something else. And then you lose that client.
You are correct.
Okay.
Wow. I hadn't thought about it that way. It's just like when you have signs in the store.
Yes,
You ever go to a retail store and they're having a sale on clothing, and this dot is this percentage, and this dot is that percentage off, and this dot is that percentage. Who's going to sit there? You need, I found that people have that dot means this, and this dot means this is $15. This dot means $10. This dot means $5. Makes it much simpler to figure out, do you want to be dealing with all of that?
exactly. I walk out. I don't. I just walk away. I can't. I don't bother myself.
Some people just go to another store because it's too confusing.
Just tell them how much, and they feel better. It's $5 off. It's $10 off. People are ready. They're fine. You
And
know.
they'd rather just go just to a store where there's just one price. Just tell me
Yes.
what the price is.
Yes. We just want to know upfront. We just want to know upfront.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is, because it's in plain sight, all we have to do is understand is that the boring thing that we aren't doing is the thing to do. Is the thing to do. That's the funny part. Because funny enough, once you start doing that thing, as I said before, it trickles in. And when I say money is a distant relative or a close friends,
Mm-hmm.
it may even be a bosom buddy. But it wouldn't allow you, this is the part, it wouldn't allow you to abuse it or abandon it. It will
Mm-hmm.
find people who use it well.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't allow you to abuse it. You might think so, but if you abuse it, what happens? We all know people who abused all that they had and where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
It find new people and it go live there and it leaves you.
You mean it breaks up with us
One time.
because we abused it? Oh my gosh.
I used to wonder, my aunt had a friend and it didn't matter what she did, she just never had any money.
Mm-hmm.
A big woman. Because my grandmother's sister, like, just never had any money. And when she do get it, she did abuse it looking back. But at the time, I didn't get that. You know, she did abuse it looking back. I hear my aunt saying to her, you can't do this and you can't do that. But of course, she didn't listen. And she used to always say to my aunt, I just admire you, Auntie Clarice. Everybody call her Clarice. I admire you, Auntie Clarice. My aunt had owned a business. Her husband had a full-time job, and he was a joiner, they called them in those days. But really, a carpenter. And so he made wonderful furniture. And she was a party planner slash organizer. And although they had those things, they did those secondary things. And they had 7 kids. And like Tundrum, if Auntie Clarice need to do that, Uncle Nabbit need to do that, they're like, just getting it done. Just getting it done. Just getting it done. They were big on rest. They'll come in from work, get some rest, and back up and do what they got to do. And go to bed at a decent time because they got up early too in the mornings, right? I grew up with a lot of family members getting up in the mornings. And so when you understand, because how you'll treat a friend versus a relative, you think about that when you talk about money, okay? How you treating your money. In case it triggers you so bad that you can't get close enough to it, think about how you'll treat a relative and how you'll treat a friend. And start understanding your money that way. I tend to use things where it makes sense for people, where they could pick up. Because this and this now is from my grandma. She had this way about money. She says, I never realized, she says, people take money for granted. That's what she used to like to say. And that's why they're without. Meaning they think it's just going to come back. And it does, but it takes longer.
No problem. Yes, because, you know, when you break up with somebody, they don't always just come right back, okay? Or when you misuse them, they don't always come back for more. Okay. So when I think about money and the relationship that we have with it, I think we need to think about it in terms of, is that money, are we really treating it right? Are we treating it right? When company comes, when a relative comes to visit, are they welcome? I mean, do you make up the extra room and you prepare a big meal? You know, are they celebrated? Or when a friend comes over to visit, don't you usually offer something, coffee, tea, if it's lunchtime, something to eat or some kind of repast to make people feel welcome? You want it to stay. So when your money comes, treat it like a welcome relative and a long lost friend. Girl, come, you stay as long as you want, you know. Because you don't want to get in the habit of your money not wanting to stay with you. Now, Coach gave us an exercise once, which was put a $20 bill in our wallet and see how long we could keep it there without spending it. Then we went to $100. And Coach, I'm going to bring you back up. Do you remember that exercise? And and to teach us that all its friends could you need to unmute yourself, could come and visit. So uh and what I found was that when I welcomed the money as a friend or a long lost relative that I was happy to see, it stayed and it called all its cousins.
Nice.
So I actually had more as opposed to less.
That is
That's a
so true,
lesson.
guys. The call, my voice is just going and coming. So that's why Cherry's talking. So, but she's on point. She's on point. So I'm gonna wrap things up just because of what's going
Yes,
on.
please do. And we're at the top of the half
Yeah.
now. Mhm.
So why does money shows up when we don't need it? It doesn't show up when we need it because we didn't put in the work in advance. That's why.
Mm.
And money, you got to go find out what triggers you. Whatever triggers you, go find out. And then number three is your money a relative or a friend, and decide how you treat.
All right. So as we work that out, we just want to thank Coach for powering through today. Coach, you just been such a blessing. So we thank you for that, for powering through. And we want you to treat your money like a long lost relative that you're glad to see and a welcome friend. Remember that Coach was saying this is why um, money is not necessarily uh, sexy, because we don't really look at it in terms of what it takes for it to come and stay. So, with that, we want to remind you that Coach Caren can be found on Instagram and Facebook under Coach Caren Fern. Also, if you're looking to make an appointment with Coach Caren, we're putting up her um, link so that you can go in and make a complimentary, schedule a complimentary appointment, because Coach Caren has such a wide background and a successful background in the field of business. She's run daycare centers, she's run fashion industry businesses, imports, exports. She's done it all. And so she can speak to these things with confidence, and she has receipts. So, with that, we want to remind you that if you're looking to become a part of Biz Chicks, do this. Simply text biz to 33777, or you can join us also over there at bizchicks.net. We're here because we love you and we're trying to help you take the hassle out of your hustle. So, with that, we want to remind you it's okay to make money in your business. So, go to the front of your own line. Coach, is there something you want to add? I told them that how to contact you
Yes,
to make an appointment.
that's
And
good.
we want to remind everyone that we're here on Thursdays with Coach Caren talking about bringing those profits in daily.
On Wednesdays.
I'm sorry. And
Wednesdays.
did I say Thursdays? on Wednesdays. Thursdays, we'll be here talking happy, healthy habits with Robin Shamizu and friends. Thank you so much for correcting me. We're here every Wednesday. Guys, have a great evening, and we are just excited. We want to give a shout out to everybody watching live and on the replay. And remember, hey, Coach Caren is here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle, as are we here at Biz Chicks. Bye bye, everyone.